All right, we have Mr. Brian Schulze in the house, baby.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What do you call it? So I was so curious about your workout regimen lately because like a month ago or something, I just saw you post a ton of stories of like you going to F45, then like right after doing like a leg day or like a chest and tri day.
Yeah.
What motivated you to, I guess, do that? Because that's so hard. Like an F45 class, you're burning like at least at your intensity 400 to like 600 calories, maybe more, and then you're gonna go and do a whole nother workout.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
have you just done that your whole entire life, or what?
That is a hard no.
Oh, okay.
That's a hard no.
So what motivated you to do that? Because a lot of people can't even get themselves to do one workout, let alone like two back to back.
Sure. Well, I think to start off just by saying anyone that makes it to the gym is deserves an applause and acknowledgement for taking the time to do that, because that first action.
Yeah, the hardest part is getting there.
Is getting there. So, I've been going to the gym for a long time. That's my phone. Can we hear this?
No, you're good.
Okay. What am I trying to say? It's this.
You want to go turn off your phone real
I
quick?
do. That's really bugging. I'll be right back.
10-second break with Brian Schulze. 2 minutes in the podcast, folks.
So wait, is this live right now?
No, it's not live.
Oh, got it. Okay. I got it.
All right,
so
we're back.
So what? So the question is, how do I do it?
No, how did you get motivated to do that? Because you didn't before,
Right.
And then now you do.
Well, weight training is completely different than like F45.
Sure.
But
also weight training, there is weight training components in F45.
Right. But it's nothing like
it's not like heavy lifting.
No.
It's not like heavy deadlift squats with like tricep extension, just like bodybuilding movements.
Right. So the reason why what motivated me to do it was I couldn't control my diet. Mm-hmm. I can't stop myself from eating good food like McDonald's, KFC.
Mm-hmm. Why can't you stop that?
I
feel like that's just like a mental thing. That's just saying that you're just giving yourself an excuse to eat those things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah. And that is very true. The reason why I went to F45 was because I could not control my diet. Mm-hmm. So I adapted my workout to
your eating habits.
To my eating habits. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
But that's awesome.
That's the truth.
That's awesome just because like for example, it's going to either be one way or the other. It's either you're going to restrict your eating or work out a lot harder. Mm-hmm. That's it. And that's the price that you pay for eating delicious food that it tastes fucking amazing.
So good. I mean, those are horrible examples, but I will...
I've had those nights where I just get off work and I'm just craving a Big Mac and some fries. Like it's human.
That struggle is so real.
Yeah.
When that happens.
Do you have any like advice for like people who like can do that, who can go to the gym and stuff? Because I'm a personal trainer, and I guess like for me, I'm their accountability.
Yes.
Like, oh, I have to see Nate today. Yeah, we're going to work out, but I get to see Nate. That's like a light in my day, but he's also going to put me through like this crazy workout that I'm not going to enjoy, but it's going to be enjoyable because he's there.
Yeah.
But not everyone has like a personal trainer. Not everyone has like an F45 where you go in. The biggest thing to me about the brilliance of F45 is that you don't need to think. Everything is programmed out for you.
Right.
But the thing about like the bodybuilding and the gym stuff, like a lot of people will walk in and not know what to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess, do you have any advice for like someone who's trying to get in shape or trying to like make a change in their life?
Yes.
For that?
Say two things to that. Weight training, and you already know this, but weight training is so different than what F45 is. Mm-hmm. And those are two different styles of working out. Mm-hmm. And they do two different things. Ultimately, yes, you are getting in shape and you're going to be healthy. But weight training, it's more of, and I just want to break it down, the weight training is more of picking certain body parts, muscles to develop individually. So where when you go to F45, it is a core full body burnout.
Yeah, regardless if it's like an upper body, lower body, or cardio day, it's still full body workout.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are two different factors, and depending on what your body type is, because that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what your metabolism's like, how do you process food? You know, your blood type, all those things. It's like it really, as random as it is, it all comes together and makes every person unique. Yeah. So understanding yourself first is really important to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, because different diets work for different people.
Right. So so go back to my workouts. Like, what's my advice is see a nutritionist, understand your body. You should at this point, if you don't know like what works for you as far do you like eating meat more? Are you more of a vegetarian? You know, what does your
body respond to versus like, for example, Kiana has a crazy high metabolism and I don't. And if we ate the same foods, same calories and everything, honestly I will gain weight quicker than her, even though we eat the same thing. Right. Yeah. And for me, like the best thing, I'm not hungry in the morning, so I intermittent fast. Yeah. But like for her, she eats an insane amount of food all fucking day. And I feel like that's with a lot of dancers. I don't know why. Like every dancer that I know personally, like loves McDonald's, like loves all, but I think it's because they burn so many fucking calories while dancing all the time.
That's exactly what it is. Can I tell you, when I do these events, I worked in live events and I produce parties basically.
Currently right now. So Brian Schulze is a choreographer and he produces or he creates dances for parties and hires dancers. Yeah. Is that a pretty good summary?
That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically what it is.
So continue.
So when I'm on site with dancers, I have to make sure that the snack bar is full. Because if I don't, have you ever
Are they cranky? Do you think you're cranky?
You know this already. You know this. If her blood sugar goes down, it's a different person. Hangry is not the word. Hangry is not
so the word. That's the thing. Like you make that a point to keep it filled just because like always. You want your dancers happy.
Oh, always. But yeah, you know, and thank you for acknowledging me in my workout. And
no, dude, it's awesome. It's really inspirational. Anytime I see anybody make a effort to get better, not necessarily for aesthetics, because like working out. Yeah, I love the aesthetics part too. Like I used to be super lean. I can get super lean if I want to. But the actions of working out, lifting heavy weight, what it does for you mentally, what it does for you like physically too, in terms of just like feeling strong. There's no other feeling like it, you know.
It's amazing. You
know, like yesterday I was feeling like a complete vegetable on the couch.
Opposite. Okay.
And I was like, okay, I need to feel better. So I went for a 2-mile run, did some crunch works and pull-ups, and my brain just feels better, you know. And people don't understand who don't do that. Yeah. You know, and they need to. Yeah. So how did you get into being a choreographer? Because I'm not a dancer. Yeah. I don't really know. From what I understand, it's like, oh, you come to LA, you dance your ass off, you get really good at these moves, and you're like, oh shit, I could put these things together and be creative, and then there you go, become a choreographer. Is that like that lineage? Is that the line, or is there different ways to get there?
I think, how do I do this? So, you know, the good example is you see choreography is a creative art.
I agree.
It's like painting or playing an instrument or like working on the computer for graphics, creating a game. You're using such a creative part of your mind where logic is not an option. It's all imagination. It's all pulling from joy and sadness, or, you know, you're expressing this in movement. So a lot of times YouTube and Instagram, you see these choreographers in the studio pick their favorite song. They pick, as they should, pick things that inspire them, and they teach other kids their style of movement, which is fantastic, and they get a lot of views. But here's the issue that I feel kind of comes up a lot is these production companies, these people who see them want to hire them for their inspiration. So when you pull this person out of a studio, out of their comfort zone, and put them in with something that's completely a circle into a square, they're like, wait, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So like, I bring that up because choreography is such a special art, and it's such a development that you'll never master in
Do you
your
see
life.
that happen a lot, by the way? That a really good choreographer gets hired by this company who tries to put their inspiration,
Yes.
what they see on, and then it just doesn't work.
Right. Well, I hope for that choreographer that they learn and grow from it, which is what I want to give them good energy for. But that's the process of life right there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that happens all the time. People don't understand the process. So to answer your question, how did I get into it? Is that the process of being a dancer into a choreographer? Yes. Yes, you'd love to dance because you just do. You know, whatever sparks someone inspiration.
What got you into dancing? Let's start there.
I will say, I remember one moment when, and I was just thinking about this the other day actually.
Yeah.
I was like, why do I love dance?
Or how did you get into it?
I was with my cousin.
Okay.
I was 7 years old, and I was
Oh,
with my sister.
it's that far.
It's that far,
Okay.
and I was in her bedroom, and she had this pink little boom box, and she was playing some like, I don't know, 90s music or something, and I watched her dance, and I was like, oh, I want to dance. I want to dance too. But I was so scared to get off the bed because I was sitting on the bed just watching her and my sister jump around. And I was like, I want to do that. But I was so afraid to be made fun of or to express myself. So that kind of just grew. And then on MTV, I watched Janet Jackson If for the first time.
Okay.
That
No, that's not. And
video did
yeah.
it for me. And I was like, I'm going to learn these moves. I recorded it.
You just like on
VHS.
VHS, you recorded it?
I did.
Okay.
And I just like, even, you know how in editing they cut shots, so you
Yeah.
can't really see the choreography.
You can't really see it.
No, so I studied it. I studied it for hours, days, and just that was my passion, and I had such an art
So basically, from that video sparked like, I want to learn these moves, become a dancer.
fucking avalanche of hardship and hard work.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can slightly relate because like, I grew up in a city where dancing was not really a thing. Like,
Yeah.
like like my parents would put my sister in like tap and ballet until they're like 7 and they're done with it. Like most people in my hometown of Fresno.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the concerts were more like country concerts. Like you're just going like that's the dance move. There's no one really dancing, you know.
Yeah. So
And-
you're saying you wanted to do more? Like do you want to dance more?
No, so I didn't really know until I came out here. That's what I'm saying.
Got it.
And I go out to a club in LA, and I'm just like, whoa. And I always watched like Step Ups, and I was like, oh, that's just like no one really does that. That's just like a movie.
Right.
But like no, that's real. You know, like
People are doing choreography
people.
on a dance.
I know people do that,
Head
and
spins.
I always like felt like I was a creative person deep down, and I appreciate when you came in here in my place and you're like, oh, he seems like you're very artistic. That's a huge compliment because that's something that I never really got growing up.
You have it. You are surrounded by nature. Everything in this apartment is artistic and creative.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
These drinks are masterly made.
Thank you,
This is
you.
a craft here.
Thank you.
You are so good at it.
I appreciate that. And yeah, so what you just talked about, like sitting on your sister's bed right there and just your cousin's bed and not like knowing what to do. So I took like a dance class at Playground 4 years ago. And Keanu teaches me TikToks or whatever. And I'm still that Brian on his cousin's bed. Like it's so like fucking scary,
Yeah.
you know? And each time, just example of this podcast too, I wanted to do this podcast for 2 years and I didn't pull the trigger because I was so scared. And I finally jumped off, and every rep that I do, every time I have someone like you sit on this couch and we're having this conversation that makes both of us a better person, it makes it easier. It gets easier and easier and easier. And I'm trying to, it's very relatable to what you just said, you know?
Well,
yeah.
thank you for letting me be part of your journey.
No, thank you, bro.
I love that.
I
and
appreciate
support
that.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Likewise.
Thank you.
So you became this dancer and you put a lot of work, a lot of effort. And I heard LA is like the The Mecca of dance.
It is the Mecca of dance.
Okay. So, and you only moved out here 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get out here? Like, when did you become a choreographer? When did you work with these companies? Like, give me a little bit more detail of how that kid on your cousin's couch became to like where you are now.
Yeah. So there's so many layers to the onion on that to get to it. Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
How did I get to be? So I love dance.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't going to dance, and because that pressure was so intense and there was so much there, and I wanted to do it, something popped, and it popped out the side, and it landed into gymnastics, and I was like, well, this is kind of like dance. So in high school,
You did gymnastics too.
I did. I'll fucking do a backflip right here in your living room.
Do it. I landed my first back tuck a year ago.
Cool. Valley College over here. Do you go there? Open gym?
No,
Oh,
I
so
was
badass.
sending it in my backyard at my old spot.
Okay.
And I just landed
That's
it one time.
dangerous.
It is dangerous. I landed on my head like 3 times, but I'll show you a video after. But on my bucket list, it was just do a backflip.
Yeah.
But okay, continue. I don't
No,
want to
no.
interrupt your story.
No, my God, no. But like, that's wild. It took me forever to do a backflip. I was so scared.
It took me a month.
Took me like a year.
But I'm afraid to do it now because I landed on my head.
That's for a good reason. Like, yeah. That's how that works. So I could spot you. I could help you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, done. Valley
Okay.
College.
Yeah.
I just burped on the podcast.
That's right. It gives a little good character.
Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, I involved myself in gymnastics in
Okay.
high school. I started late. Everything I've done, I've started late. I started in junior high.
Why is it late?
Just because.
I feel like it's only late because again you think it's late.
That's valid, actually. That's valid.
I feel like it's at the perfect time.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
All right, continue.
I'm Rolodexing that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna take that.
Let that sit.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yo, I just loved flipping. I loved flying. So the floor routine was mine.
Mm-hmm.
But then part of it was like you do floor routines, and I'd love the girls' floor routines because they would like turn and like do these cool things. So
Do you know Caitlin Ohashi? Do you know of her?
no,
She's the UCLA gymnast who went viral on the Michael Jackson song.
no,
I'll show you after. We're good friends.
no way.
Yeah. She's friends with like Simone Biles and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll link you. Just
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is we should all go to gymnastics gym, open gym.
yeah.
Let's go,
Let's do it.
dude. They have a pit. You can fall any way you want. It's just really fun. You throw yourself around. You just throw yourself out there.
Don't need to fuck up your head. You'll be good.
I mean, yeah. it's
So you got
safer.
really into gymnastics,
Yeah.
and the floor routine was yours.
Yeah, and then I moved to. I went to the military out of high school, and I drove to California. I was like, I need to move to LA. Want to be there?
Oh, hold up. How did you get to the military? Like, why did you go to the military if like this was like dance gymnastics was your thing?
Yeah. Listen, the story is wild. It's all just wild. But it's like, I was in foster care. I grew up in foster care when I was young.
Yeah.
My sister and I. My mom, she couldn't take care of us, so she gave us up for adoption. Thankful for that.
Yeah.
And so we grew up in foster care, and
How was that experience?
that experience was awful.
How so?
It was awful. There was a lot of
You just said
just went so deep so fast.
you just said you were thankful for your parents to put you in foster care.
I am, because
you said it was,
I thank you for that.
Yeah.
This is all actually leading to, these different components are actually really leading to a very special message actually on this podcast, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, the in foster care, I stayed in foster care all the way up until I was 18. I went through 3 different families in that process, and the foster care system was not very good at that time. So what I found out was a lot of these families will take in children temporarily to get money from the government. And like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And then the way that the government would interview these families wasn't very efficient. So
Like it is now. I feel like it's pretty efficient now.
yeah, now you can't even adopt a kid if you
It's
have
hard.
all A pluses.
Yeah.
Which is great, but wow, it's a little intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was just a lot of poverty. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of mental abuse. physical, all the things, you know. And so that was my experience of the world as a kid, coming into this world of this is what life is like, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, and in the messages that I was getting was nobody wants you. You're not worth anything.
Yeah.
And you'll never make it. So when you're a human being and you're put in a situation like that, you have two things. You can either fight or flight, or you can give up and make excuses, and which you can, which is not wrong, because the situation is terrible as it is. But, you know, do you want to stay in that, or do you want to move forward? You know, do you want to learn? Do you want to like forgive, release, grow, absorb, you know, like, and that's what I chose to do. I chose to take this experience of being put in a situation where what I was dealt was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was
beautiful
for a
at the
reason.
same time.
It was for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, you learn these lessons of drive, of fight, of forgiveness, of happiness, love, and simplicity of just what is life really about and why are we here?
How did you choose that route versus like the resentment route? Because a lot of people choose that as well.
They do.
And they're like, woe is me. And then they feel like that no matter what they do, basically what you said, that I am a failure, I'm not going to make it, like all those things. And they truly believe that. And you decided not to. Like, what was your light switch moment for that?
When you decide to say I'm a victim, when you say I'm a victim and when you decide to give up, you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can sit in that spot
forever.
You can sit in that spot and not grow. And that's what happened, because I did that. I did do that
for a long time, I bet.
I did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going anywhere. I was in the middle of the storm.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to like walk out of it. So I stayed in it. And I know that's a really weird metaphor.
Yeah.
But it's a circle around you. It's like, what are you creating in your universe?
Yeah.
What is the energy in it? You know, and whatever is inside comes out is what you attract. And I wanted to attract good energy. I wanted to attract drive, positivity, love.
Yeah, that's beautiful, my friend.
Yeah. So
what do you call so you said you moved from like 3 foster homes, right? And I feel like just moving in general, it doesn't allow a child to probably develop in a healthy manner, because you have to keep reinventing yourself, and your environment changes. So and I guess, like, what did you learn from the moving, the different environments? Because, like, I can't even imagine. I can't even relate, because I haven't even moved around a lot, let alone move around into different environments where there's totally different people / totally different families around you.
I learned how to survive. I learned how to fend for myself. I learned how to live, like, survive. That is what it was.
Like, period. Yeah, that's the
I didn't really have a chance to figure out my personality. I just needed to live.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be noticed. I didn't make friends.
Yeah.
You know, I was very quiet. I was very timid.
Are you still connected to anybody in those homes, like in terms of family members or anything like that?
No. And you know what? But there's one point. The result of me moving so much as a kid, and even my first 5 years of development, are so important for a child. Learning how to talk, learning how to eat properly, learning just the basics of being a human.
Yeah.
I wasn't given that.
Yeah.
My sister and I were in diapers running through mud puddles in the front yard of our neighborhood. I remember our neighbors running outside to grab us because we were in the street. Like, we were wild. Like, I didn't know how to sit in a chair and eat with a fork.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So when I went into kindergarten.
So how did you learn all these things? Like, just basic, like, necessity stuff.
I mean, repetition with teachers. The foster home care people, they taught us, because there was a lot of kids like us that weren't taught the basics. Communication with other people. I didn't know how to talk to anybody. It was such a wild catch up. It was a game of catch up for me.
Do you have any, like, mentors or teachers who, like, you still, like, look up to, who helped you during those times? Because, like, I feel like for me, there's always that one person or one teacher who like, oh, like she or he like put an effort to like make my life better, make it, who cared.
Yeah. There was, because I moved so much, I wasn't able to develop a connection. But my sister was all I had, because her and I moved from together. So her and I had it. You know, I just love her to death. She is my family. So if I could say there was anyone that helped me survive, it was her. We helped each other. But yeah, so moving through these houses and going to different schools, I had a deficient, like I was underdeveloped. I mean,
like mentally,
oh,
right?
like yes, mentally and everything. I remember this one time I can remember kindergarten. The teacher's like, Brian, you just sit in this chair, and I was like, okay. And then I see this kid. You know those giant red bricks when you're a kid and they're building blocks?
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, this kid was so excited about this wall he was building. Nate.
It's like the foam bricks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked at that wall and I just wanted to run through it.
Just fuck it up.
I did.
And you ran through it.
I did.
Like when your teacher said to like sit down.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
Yeah, that was me. That still is me today, but tamer, you know.
Yeah, and more developed.
Yeah. Yes, very much more.
You can eat with a fork now. It's cool, and you can sit down.
I sometimes choose not to, but
yeah, everyone needs a hamburger once in a while. Needs a Big Mac from in and out, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, how did you, I guess, get into dance and gymnastics when you were going through that process? Because I feel like it's even hard to do like sports if you're moving around that much or experiencing all that.
Yes. So the reason why I started gymnastics late was because my last move, I was in.
Sorry, where have you moved?
So I grew up in Pennsylvania, up by Erie, which is in the. If you look at it's like the armpit of Pennsylvania, the left armpit.
I went to Pennsylvania for the first time probably like 6 months ago. Yeah. I went to Hershey.
Oh yeah, Hershey Park.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But there's nothing around there.
Nothing out there. If you like trees and woods and you just want to get away, that's perfect.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
No. So, but like that's where I grew up. I grew up in the country, in Erie, Pennsylvania, was an industrial city, and it's just genuinely poor. People there don't have a lot of money. It's cheap living, and I just grew up in that environment. You know, like hillbillies and in the sticks. You know, like. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Farmers and trucks and, you know, one stoplight in the town. That's what you got.
Yeah.
You know, Aunt Lily's got the best wings on a Thursday and everyone goes. And the place still isn't packed. You know what I mean? So, because I moved those. And so it was Erie, Pennsylvania. In that area, there's like another place called DuBois, but they're just small towns.
So it was all around that area?
Yes, it was. I didn't leave the state.
Okay.
Yeah. But the final move was in junior high and where I stayed.
And that's when you picked up gymnastics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you dancing up to that point or no?
Not at all.
So you just knew you liked to dance when you could dance.
Yeah.
And you picked up gymnastics. Obviously, doing gymnastics probably gave you an extreme amount of body awareness.
Well, that innate. If you think about this person, like, okay, me, I was just trying to survive and I was trying to grow and also like just trying to get through life at this point to survive. So when I got to this point in junior high where I was now able to do activities outside of school, it was the first time I got to experience practicing something. It was the first time I got to experience like feeling myself develop in a skill. And that really excited me.
I feel like getting better at anything like gives you confidence.
Yes.
And it gives you confidence because you know you started from nothing.
Yes.
And now you're not nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what workouts do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Working out's is funny too because like if you think about weight, if it's just weight, you lifted 10 pounds today and in 3 months you're lifting 25, that feels great.
It feels great.
And if you start working out and you have a tummy and then you see 2 abs, you're like, oh, that's cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So continue.
Yeah. So the progress. These drinks are really strong, Nate.
It doesn't taste like there's any alcohol in there.
None.
Brian's lightweight. He's still underdeveloped.
Shit. That wasn't good. Still working on my alcohol tolerance, people. Still working on that.
So back to the gymnastics.
Yeah. So
How did gymnastics go into dance, going into choreography? How did you get to LA?
Nate, all that creative,
Yeah.
all that pressure of my imagination
For all those years?
all those years, not being able to like express it in anything. Everything was so bottled in.
Yeah.
This was the first time,
You just let go.
I let go,
Yeah.
and all of my attention, all my focus
Was
went
on
in for that skill.
gymnastics. Okay.
And that's what I lived, breathed, ate it. Like that was.
How many years did you do gymnastics for?
I did it for, all through college, 8 years.
Oh, you did it in college too?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go to college and do it?
Clarion University. I got a scholarship to be a cheerleader.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
And that was addicting too.
Yeah, I didn't really know too much about like the world of cheer, especially a male cheerleader. Since do you know Victor at F45, the acro machine, the
Yes.
black guy? Yeah, he was a cheerleader too, and
He's great, by the way.
so positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could sense each other's energy. You guys both have good energy.
Thanks, Nate.
So you didn't even this whole 8-year process. You didn't even do dancing yet either.
No.
So when did you become like a dancer? When did you perform? When did you get into that? When did you start taking classes?
When I moved here.
Okay, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's recent.
Yep.
That's recent.
Yep.
So what type of dance do you love? Or why? Let's start off with why do you love dance?
Because it's the way I feel when I do it. It's intoxicating. It's euphoric.
How so?
Everything disappears.
Like if you were going to describe dance to someone who doesn't understand dance at all, who's never seen movement like that, who's always been like, I guess, I don't know, into sports or a small hometown where they haven't even taken like a dance class at all, how would you describe dance? And what does it do for you?
If I had to describe to someone who didn't understand it, I would say for them to understand the feeling of what they felt, it's like falling in love for the first time. It's like your body just, the sensations in your body just completely take over. It just makes you forget everything, and you feel alive. You feel alive. You feel like your senses are so acute. I know I'm going very extreme with it, but like that's how I feel.
Yeah.
When you're dancing and you know the choreography and you're listening to the music and you feel it, it's in your body.
Yeah.
You just let go.
So what type of dance does that for you usually? Like what style? There's different styles, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like what's the style that attracts you most?
there's so many different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
There's, you know what I mean? It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Jazz funk is really fun.
Okay.
I really enjoy it. That's got like it's sexy. I like to dance sexy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, contemporary.
So what? I don't really know what jazz funk is. Can you explain the style?
It's Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
It's Britney Spears, Janet Jackson.
So that's like jazz funk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like jazz funk but pop, right? They're pop stars.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like similar like pop music type of
Yeah,
deal.
exactly.
But the style of dance that they do is like jazz funk.
It's not hard hip hop.
Yeah.
Like there's some flowy, there's some turns, there's some like technique involved in it.
Okay.
You know, they all of the different styles have technique.
Did you do? Were you classically trained too?
I did. I took class.
So you took class.
It is
7
not my
years
strong
ago.
point. It's not
Like 7 years ago, you literally.
Nate, I'm not talking like when I did intensive for 3 years. I was taking 3 classes a day, like 6 days a week.
Shit.
On average.
This man was like, I need to catch up.
I had no choice. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, like,
and this was in LA.
yeah.
Do they teach like?
So when you say that you went to Playground 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and you were so nervous,
Yeah.
I understand.
You could relate.
Yes, I can.
It wasn't that I was nervous too, because like I couldn't pick up. They were doing the choreo so quickly.
Yeah.
And I left. I haven't gone back since because I was like, what the fuck? Like they picked up that whole dance in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I learned the first few moves. Like, so I bought a class online and I learned the whole dance. It took me fucking like 9 hours though.
Yeah.
But it took them 45 minutes.
Yeah. Because they take class every day. Those dancers, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's a skill. That's a muscle to work out.
Yeah. My head was hurting. My brain was
Yeah,
hurting.
yeah.
My brain was hurting. I was like, why can't I get my body to do what that dude just did.
Yeah, it's a completely different development.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's awesome. I actually want to encourage you
To keep going.
to keep going. Yeah.
I'll try. I feel that feeling that you just described is very similar to. So I was trying to become a professional golfer at one time in my life, and
That explains.
it explains all this. Explains it.
Like
Yeah.
you were playing golf in this living room before I got here.
Yeah. When I edit podcasts or listen to music or whatever, it'll probably take me 3 to 5 minutes to get a ping pong ball into that cup.
No way.
Yeah, it's not that long. But for example, like it'll probably take you 30 minutes to like never, maybe.
Pretty much.
Right. And because you might get lucky, you might go in.
Yeah.
But
It's not skill.
the feeling that I get when I like hit a golf club in the center of the club face or drain a 30-40 foot putt that I read perfectly, it makes me feel alive. And that what you just described about dance is what I used to feel about golf. And I
love that.
Yeah, I tore a ligament in my wrist before. But the thing is, these art forms, they make people feel alive, you know.
Yes.
And you could get that sensation for different things. But that the one time that I spent 8.5 hours to learn that one dance, I felt that feeling.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even close to what it could be, you know.
Isn't that addicting? Doesn't that like the appetite for
Yeah.
that is so big, so monstrous.
Yeah, that's why I feel like in life people have to like pick something. Like for you it was gymnastics, and you're like, oh, I went from nothing and I could do a back tuck. I could do a back handspring.
But let me tell you,
know,
I worked so hard. I got the whole. I could do fulls. I was working on doubles. I
Yeah,
had whip
that's
backs,
crazy.
like
that's insane.
round off exit, like all of it. Step outs into back handspring, whip back handspring, full.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's the appetite. It's the hunger that when you get a taste of something,
Yeah.
and you're like, fuck, I want more.
Yeah.
I want more when you get good, and you see your body adapting.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy what the human body can do. It truly is.
Every
Truly
day,
is.
every day I think about that.
Yeah.
It's just like this machine
Could do a lot.
could do a lot, which is why, like, everyone should work out, should take care of it. And I know everyone hears that every single day, but that literally is one of the reasons why I get so inspired to do these 2-a-days, is because how far can I push myself?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much can I change this body? Because it's been so good to me through my whole life of just taking care of me, and I you know, I want to take care of it. It's a relationship.
You also only have one meat sack that you're with your whole life.
Fucking meat sack.
Yeah, like this is a fucking meat sack.
Yeah.
Like you have somewhat control. Your brain tells you to go work out, and this meat sack's just going along.
Those are the worst days, aren't they? Like you're laying on the couch, you're like, I have to get up, and then your mind attacks you, and it's like, you don't have to get up.
Yeah.
Brian. You're like, yes, I do.
Have you ever ran before? Like actually got into running?
Yeah.
So like long distance.
Yes.
Okay, so I did the 2019 LA Marathon. I was a big boy.
Damn.
But when I started training
Congrats.
for it, dude, I only could do 1.5 miles, and I was heaving. And I just started getting into running again, and at 2 miles, I'm heaving. I'm like, yo, like you lose it quickly too.
So quick.
Probably with gymnastics too. Like same stuff. You gotta practice.
Practice.
You know.
Practice.
So you got into dancing. Oh, when you got out here, you did these crazy classes. You were taking class three times a day. You said. And you kind of built your skills. What made you want to like get into choreography? Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to dance." Like choreography takes out the fun of dancing for me. You know?
Yeah.
Is that accurate? I feel like some people feel that way.
Yes.
And what's your like? Why did you want to be a choreographer? And like, yeah,
I didn't at first. That didn't develop in me right away. I wanted to take class and be good. And be in it, in the singularity of that perfection of that moment, you know.
What do you mean? I don't know. I don't understand.
So I use the word singularity because in a black hole, in the center of it is the singular most perfect spot. It's like dead center.
Sure.
and like it's just like you're in the moment, you're in the pocket of the music, you're in singularity, like you're there.
Okay.
And that's, to give an example, it's like a surfer on a wave. You know, they're in that moment on the wave where everyone's watching this. He's like, is he gonna crash? But he's just sort of floating in this space, right where he needs to be for that curve, you know. And you know, that's why I love it. Some people, that's why I do the choreography, is because that is the skill set. This is something you're working for to get paid for as an artist, is for Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Megan Stallion is going to hire you because, you know, they need dancers to do choreography, and that is the job.
I also didn't realize how important dancers were until like Kiana was like, imagine this show or imagine this performance without dancers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I feel like it would be so fucking boring.
So boring.
Just someone singing at a mic.
What would
like,
Madonna do?
Yeah.
Oh
I just didn't really think about that. And I didn't.
Yeah.
I feel like the importance of it's there because I would watch. We were watching, I think, Justin Bieber's new like music videos where he's not in it. It's just dance choreography, and I was like, I like the song better since I saw the dancers do it. Cause like I'll listen to it, and I'm like, it's whatever.
Well, because they show you the beats.
Yeah.
It's like you get a visual of what the music is.
I also don't hear some beats, but they'll like hit it. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I hear it now because I saw it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like could be the tiniest, softest beat, but they'll hit it.
And that right there is choreography. You know, and that is such a creative. You got to have that drive to want to.
So you didn't want to be a choreographer though. So how did you get into it?
I remember.
Someone was like, "Yo, Brian, you should be a choreographer. You're really fucking good." Like, well, what was it?
Well, I was on a job, and I think it was for Pink, and
you danced for Pink. Okay.
And we were doing this movement, and I didn't understand. I was having a hard time with it. I'm like, why are we doing this movement? That's not what I hear. And I was like, I hear this. So I started playing around with my own stuff, and I was very shy about it. So I would invite some of my friends to come just like learn choreography that I was gonna do because I wanted to see what it would look like. Yeah. So like it was like private sessions that I would just have with myself. And this is actually a funny story. At the time, I was also bartending in West Hollywood. Okay. And the drag queens in West Hollywood were always looking for dancers. Yeah. Because one, they would pay you like so minimal, if at all, to do these shows. And I was like, this is the experience I need to get in front of people to learn it. I don't have to be good because no one's good that dances for drag queens. So
it's not good.
I would look amazing.
I went to a couple of drag shows, bro, and I was like, this is not good.
No, it's not good. It's not good. So that's what I started doing. I started choreographing for these drag queens in West Hollywood to get my feet wet. And I would perform in front of gay audiences, which is my family. What's up, boys and girls? Yeah. You know, feel supported because at that point they're fucking drunk. No one knows how good. They just love that there's something happening.
And it got your reps in.
I got my reps in. So what happened was I got good at it. Yeah. I started like seeing what worked and what didn't work on stage. I got to see, okay, well, transitions like this work. Transitions like this don't. Yeah. That wasn't enough, or this was too much. Yeah. Oh, that was great. Yeah. So I started like absorbing and learning. And I will say, through me being stunted from not learning so much from a long time, and then having to like fast forward and like drive, you know, go super fast and learn really fast, I got really good at it. Yeah. So I can hyper focus on something and just absorb really quickly and learn quick. I've developed that skill set.
Just because of that experience.
Yeah. Which is why I'm grateful for my upbringing, because I've developed skills that have really helped me.
Like emotional skills. Yeah. Yeah, that I guess like keeps you resilient. Yeah. And keeps you going even when you have a ton of resistance. Yeah. Towards Yeah. So you were bartending in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so
I was there
we have a little bit in common.
Yeah. But dude, I was just slinging like vodka sodas.
Yeah,
like,
it's easy.
That's nothing like this beautiful
margarita.
this beautiful margarita.
So you weren't only
Well, check this out.
what?
So I just want to finish that moment. Is that I can hear this in the microphone. I'm about to take a sip. Is that I got good at it, and there was not the Abbey, but across the street there was this bar that were known for their Tuesdays and Fridays for having performances. They based
It's near the Abbey?
for back then it was. It's across the street. I think they called it the Robertson or something.
Mrs. Robertson? No?
Maybe.
Could it be wrong?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's just in school we're gonna call it that.
Okay.
The thing is, the promoters made the night about the drag queen performances that I was choreographing because it got good, packed. Like I was doing it with like Ray Latre and all of them, and then they even brought in like Salt and Pepper. So I got the choreographer for Salt and Pepper at this club. They brought in Sierra.
So it went from a shit show to like
That's what I'm saying.
a masterpiece where it was crowded and people like saw your
Screaming.
art with these people on stage. That's
Yes.
beautiful, dude.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So it developed into something really amazing, and I was supported. I was in a loving circle of friends and community, and I learned. I was able to say, and this is really important, to not be defensive, but to accept my faults.
Sure.
You know, and some people don't know how to do that to grow.
Yeah.
You know, you see some of these choreographers that are so pretentious and so
Yeah.
their universe is the universe, and you're like, yo.
Yeah.
And that's another thing when you take these choreographers who you see on YouTube and the choreography is great. They don't have the communication
Yeah.
skills to be able to do the production side of the job, which is 90% of the job.
Was that the whole thing where like dancers don't know anything business, but they should? Is that like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
similar to what you're saying?
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But that's not just dancers, that's everybody.
Yeah, it's everybody.
It's everybody.
It's anyone. Well, it's hard because like I feel like a lot of creative people don't dive into like the business part of the world, which is gonna make them make their art more valuable to them.
Dude, it is, yeah.
Because like
So
what they
important.
have, I believe, is so valuable, but you have to make that value seen. And to do that, you have to be business savvy.
Yeah.
You know.
So
why?
like your company that you're starting,
Yeah.
I feel like you have both sides of that.
Inspirit Bitters, yes and no. So I'm very good with money just because I was not good with money. I read a lot of books. I'm very good with people because I wasn't good with people. I'm a good friend because I wasn't a good friend.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Nate.
You know.
That's so powerful what you
know.
just said.
And yeah, I'm getting better at business and stuff like that because like I'm open-minded, like what you said. You have to be willing to learn. And I also think you have to, because for me, I believe I'm right about a lot of things. But if I have a conversation with Brian over here and he tells me something, I need to have that thing in the back of my head that, oh, dude, you might be wrong.
Yeah.
And how do you reset and recalculate to make what you already know or what already have better?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So why does especially choreography, why does dancers look better when they do the same shit next to each other? Why do one dancer not look as good as two dancers, as 3, as 10 doing the exact same shit? Like, I don't understand that.
That is a visual trick. Do you remember those Halloween costumes that you would put on, and there was a cutout of, so you'd have so on your arm there'd be like paper dummies. There'd be 3 in the front and 3 in the back, and you would have this wooden bar that would cut through all of them. So when you would raise your arm,
All of them would go
all
up.
of them would go
Yeah.
up, and it was in sync.
Yeah.
And it would look so cool.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just a visual
Yeah,
aesthetic.
I just don't understand it because to me, I have the feeling. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing. That's so cool that they could do that.
Yeah.
But like, when one person or 2 people does it versus 10 people, I'm just like, it's less cool when 2 people do it.
Dude, 100%. But that's the beauty of the choreography is you get to manipulate the music and the body to create a mood and a feeling
Yeah.
for people to interpret.
To appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not appreciate.
Yeah. Or not. Depends.
What do you call it? So obviously it sounds like, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The whole starving artist thing in LA, like where you have to work multiple jobs that you don't enjoy to do what you love. So like bartending to become a choreographer, but still pay your rent type of deal, right?
Yes.
So like, what jobs have you done, or if any? Like, because obviously you didn't just come out here a choreographer making money doing what you love.
No.
So what are some of those jobs?
Dude, when I first moved out here, I had to be smart. Survivor skills, I was already working out at the time. I was already doing gymnastics and cheerleading, so I was fit. And I was like, I'm going to go-go dance.
Go-go dance. What's that?
That is dancing in underwear.
Okay, so is that like the Abbey dancers type of
Yeah.
deal? That's go-go dancing.
Yeah, that's
okay.
where I started. I started dancing at the Abbey right when I first moved here.
Okay. Do you know what's her name? DJ Bowie?
DJ Bowie, no.
She's been bartending at the Abbey for many years. She's a
Okay.
good friend of mine. She used to work at F45. She bartends with me at Lavo now.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you know her.
No, maybe. Maybe. I mean, it was a while ago, Nate.
Oh, okay. But she's been there for like eight years.
Okay. This was longer than that.
You said you only been in LA for 7.
No. Wait. Wait.
You're fucking up the timeline
gotta
now,
be
bro.
it's got to be like 10. It's got to be like 10. It's got to be like 10. I've been here for like 10 years. I never thought about it.
10 years now?
Yeah.
LA
At
10.
least. At least. I mean, I'm 37.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm getting old.
Got here at 27?
Yeah.
So
No, I got here at like 26.
Oh, so it's 11 years.
11 years. There you go. Thank you. It's been 11 years.
Come on, math.
Thank you.
She
Yeah.
probably still was there too. I don't
If
know.
so, I probably would know her if I saw
All
her.
right. So you
Yeah.
started go-go dancing.
Yeah.
Go-go dancing and bartending. What else?
I was a server.
Server.
And I was a coach, a gymnastics coach.
Okay.
And that's about it. But I also started working as a dancer.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved here, I loved.
Well, the thing is, like, you
Yeah.
enjoy dancing, right? I don't
Dude.
know. I don't know if you enjoyed. I could be wrong. Did you enjoy go-go dancing? Was that your thing?
Dude, yeah.
You fucked with it?
I fucked with it. I was doing class choreography on the bar. I was hitting all these moves.
There's a couple
was
videos I
practicing.
probably want to see 10 years ago of baby Brian going on the
Dude.
volleyball.
Dude, I was going ham. I was practicing my twerking.
Yeah, the thing that I love about like all the side gigs and stuff, I feel like people, for example, my side gigs are actually bartending at a bar and personal training,
Okay.
right? And I love both those things, right? I feel like,
You look great, by the way.
thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
you
that.
You are doing a lot of work.
Thank you.
I follow you on Instagram too.
Thank you. I
You're
follow you
welcome.
too. But I feel like people who do their side gigs out here, they need to like love, or they don't even necessarily love it, but enjoy the work in the moment, or else like they won't have good energy for their craft. Do you agree?
I agree. You got to struggle. I mean, no one just makes it. You got to put the work in.
Yeah.
You just have to. That's
Yeah.
how it works. And, for you starting your company, and I'm starting mine,
Oh yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's go creative.
create media.
Create media. Create media. What sparked that?
What's that?
What sparked create media?
Because I've been doing choreography for a while.
Do you film all your classes and stuff? Like all your stuff? Do you film it on your own?
because I do live events. I mean, I'll film the rehearsal stuff, but I don't.
You don't film the actual show.
No. Sometimes I will, and I can show you some videos. But like for example, my job title now, like even though I'm creative director, not just a choreographer, but I'm grateful for it.
For what company again?
This is for Create Media, but I work for Elan Artists full time. Like that
Okay.
is, I am
Elan Artists.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do luxury live events for entertainment only. I mean, we do.
And what type of dance is that? So like I know
That
like,
is-
it's like burlesque or what is it?
That is all kinds.
All kinds.
It's
Okay.
all kinds.
It's based on what the client wants.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it goes with the theme. And it's very, very high end, and creative and put together, immaculate, perfect. Working for this company, I have to be at the top of my game every day.
Every day.
So it's great. It's great. But the reason why I started creating media was because I want to. My creative is going in a different direction where I want to produce film. I love editing.
Produce film. What do you mean produce?
So
film?
we do
Like
music
movies?
videos. Eventually.
Okay, but right now music videos.
Music videos and commercials. We're putting together some web series right now. And what I've learned in my process is like to work your muscle you know, and to build this muscle before you flex it and before you get out there, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
So I've already started developing a web series. I got my team together. This company that I own with my business partner, Cody Morgan.
Create Media.
We have our film crew. We have cameras. We have developed so much equipment.
Oh, so you got everything.
We have everything.
Yeah. And when did you start this company though?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still growing.
Oh yeah, it's still growing. It's still a baby.
Yeah.
You know, we got to put, you know, time into it. So, but we do music videos, commercials, promo reels, and that's what we're developing right now. Also stuff for like live events, custom videos for live events.
Yeah.
We did this one video for a company that wanted all their CEOs to make a music video in their store. You know, like a flash mob kind of vibes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So like
For a commercial?
This is for their live event. Like they showed, so this project was for a live event for their company. And they had a gala where everyone came in from around the world.
So they just wanted similar faces on this, like,
Yeah.
basically a music video for this live event, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you remember the song Happy? 'Cause I'm happy.
Yeah, for real?
Yep.
Yeah.
They redid that song with their own lyrics. And each one of the CEOs from different departments were in it.
Yeah.
So that we got to produce and edit.
That one's been pretty fun.
It was. It was. But
So you already started like actually getting gigs for
Yes.
for Create Media,
yeah.
and it's like still growing. It's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm making mistakes, Nate. I think it's important to say that like no one is ready.
Yeah.
No one's ready when you start
Anything.
ever.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall down, and like if there's anything of a message that I want to give out, or for you giving me this time to be here with you, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Is that life is short. Life is so short, and fear fear of failure is not an option, because failure is actually, and you know, I know you've heard this before. I know everyone's heard this before.
I don't think so. I don't think everyone's heard it before.
Oh,
So continue.
is failure is a blessing. Is what makes you better at the end of the day. You know, you could be terrible at something, but if you work at it, you'll be good at it.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want, that's what you can get. And I've proven it to myself
Time and time again.
time and time again.
Yeah. There's a formula. It's a formula for this madness.
It is.
Yeah. When you were talking about like fucking up and shit, especially with my business too, like a perfect example for me, Inspirit Bitters, every flavor, as you could see all around, has the exact same label. We just do a different, we write the flavor on the back. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, you can't tell the difference from like visually.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't tell they're different flavors if you just look at the front.
Nate, it's the flavor it's the color of the flavor, and sort of like would also help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
so for pineapple habanero, it should be like orange and yellow. Like,
Dude,
you know,
when I tasted that, it took me to another place.
it tasted, you tasted the colors.
I tasted the colors.
I appreciate that, by the way, because like, for example, this cocktail took many fuck ups too. It tasted really bad at one point.
Prime example.
Prime example. What do you call it? What are you most excited for right now in your life, Mr. Brian?
I'm excited for my journey. I know it sounds dumb, but like literally the other day, I got home because I've been traveling a lot.
No.
I came back to my place and I was like, this is my home.
Mm-hmm.
This is my life. I've worked really hard to get to a place where I really love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I love the family that I've created for myself, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about
Just continuing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
And it feels good to be on the right path, and I want everyone to be on their path.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes risks. It takes risks. You've got to jump. You've got to jump to get it. It's not easy. That's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah. You were talking about the importance of surrounding yourself with like really good quality people.
Yes.
And you shot me that message just as something that you wanted to talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
Why is that so important to you? And what does it do for you?
It's energy. It's energy. It's you sharing and being comfortable with people next to you that you trust. If they don't have your best intentions, then you shouldn't have those people around you. And Yeah. I mean, I just that is all there is to it.
Yeah.
It's you share your energy with people, and you want to surround yourself with good energy so that you're supported to do better. Could you imagine if you were around people who didn't care about you, and you were sort of in a give up moment? You're like, oh, this has been going on forever. I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna sit here. And you've been sitting here. Do you want people around you who are gonna say, yeah, you can stay there. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're okay. You're doing great.
Yeah.
You want people to be like, get the hell up.
Yeah.
You're done.
There are some friends like that though, who
those
are
the people.
there. I know there's some friends who are like, you're good where you're at.
Yeah.
You don't want those friends.
No.
But also, I feel like human beings are social creatures, right?
Yeah.
If if you accomplish something, if I accomplish something, what do you want to do? I want to tell it to somebody.
Yes.
If I'm sad, if I'm really depressed, what do you want to do? You want to tell somebody. And I feel those people that you want to tell have to be important, or else will, in better terms, fuck up like what you're doing.
Yes.
Ruin like the momentum of the progress that you're going on.
Yeah.
Even if it's like negative process, meaning like what you just said, you have to fail, you have to go down to go back up.
Yes.
And go down and go back up and go
Build
down.
that foundation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people that you choose to be vulnerable with,
Mm-hmm.
you just want to make sure that they care about you.
Yeah.
And really appreciate you for you.
100%.
And want the best for you.
Yeah. Do you have any any more goals? Like for the longest time, you wanted to be like this choreographer, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to make money make a living doing what you love, and you're already there.
Yes.
And you're continuing this process. Do you have any other like goal? It could be anything, like learn a new fucking language or like whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. It's this company.
Oh, Create Media.
It's this. I wrote a script a long time ago when I was in the military, and I was just about to finish.
What branch of the military were you in again?
Army National Guard.
Okay.
Reserves, and I worked on Apache helicopters. My unit was in Johnstown, and my enlistment, my contract was one weekend a month, 2 weeks during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived on campus full time, so it actually paid for my school. But I had my BDUs, so that like I put my BDUs on and go down for the weekend.
Yeah.
And
looking all snazzy in your uniform.
yeah, but I was never snazzy because they wanted it to be pressed, and I was never pressed. I was always wrinkled. They're like, Private Schulze.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, why did you press your uniform?
Oh man,
you weren't a good military man then.
No, see, I'm still working on me. I'm still working on me.
Yeah.
I wrote a script
during this time in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that, like, I put so much energy into hyper focus, and it has all components and flavors
of your
and
life?
ingredients of my life.
Nice.
And it's fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's creative, it's adventurous, it's laughing,
Mm-hmm.
it's love. Like, it's my end goal. My goal is to get that produced, and I want to do it. I don't.
You don't want anyone else to do it?
No,
because it'll ruin the story.
It's a challenge.
It won't. It won't ruin it. I would say it would present a different story than what you want it to be.
So thank you for that question. What about you?
What am I most excited for right now? Yeah, same stuff, dude. I'm enjoying this journey.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Inspirit Bitters. But the biggest thing that I defined success for in my life is doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, with the people who you want to do it with.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I don't have in that equation is when you want to do it. So like I still have to be at a bar making money to pay rent. I still have to go to clients' houses to personal train on their time.
Yeah.
So I want to figure out how to do it when I want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy everything that I do. I just don't get to choose the time.
Yeah.
For example, I bartend until 2 a.m., right? But I have a client at 6 a.m. in Westwood. So I'm sleeping 3 hours. And then I take a nap during the day. It's not necessarily it's not taking care of my body, like you said.
Yeah.
So at least I'm self-aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the equation to get out of that.
Can I tell you something about that?
Tell me.
That will never change.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm not saying I'm still on other people's time.
Okay.
I can't, when you get to a point to where you are successful where you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got everything in place,
Mm-hmm.
you will always be working for someone or have obligations to get something done for whatever product you're providing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that somehow you've got a trust fund and you're just not working and a billionaire, you will always have obligations. It's just looking at the reality of what your schedule is and what that is and what you need to do with it to get to the next step.
What do you mean?
So the energy of saying, I have to work till 2, then I have to take the 3-hour nap, and then I go to this client at 6 a.m. Yes, you do.
No.
That is what it is. So like, what do we do? What other energy do you want to focus on?
Yeah.
Say, okay, that's what it is. That's what I have to do. So then within this time, I'm going to pull the bottles of bitter. I'm going to look at the labels and say, maybe I can sketch something out to see what these colors are and start making baby steps for things that will slowly over time, you're moving forward.
Yeah. No, I do agree with you in that certain sense. I think that will be like that for a very long time. But basically what I'm saying is I could make my life better in the sense that I could batch, if I could get 2 days of bartending, right?
Yeah.
Just back to back, or 3 days of bartending back to back. And then 4 days, I could just like have clients in the morning and then work on the bitters business after. Like I could restructure it in a way that I don't need to do that.
You could do that.
Yeah, I can. And so I'm working on that. I'm excited for that.
That's
I'm excited to learn new skills. For example, you saw the camera. I don't know anything about photography. I know a little bit of aperture. I know like a little bit of shit like that. But I'm excited to get better at skills that I want to get better at. For example, a backflip, that's there too. Like there's certain things that I feel like, I don't know. I read this book called Big Magic. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's by the author of Eat, Pray, Love.
Got it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And she talks about like living a creative life.
Yes.
And being pulled to certain things. Like, for example, you felt pulled to dance when you were on that bed, right? And you can't do everything but you can make an effort to do things that pull you very strongly. Like, for example, for years, I wanted to do this podcast. In my head, the idea kept recurring back to me. And I don't know what it is. Like, ideas come to human beings.
Yeah.
Why? You don't know.
Yeah.
But there's like this bigger magic. Like, why are they coming to you? It's calling you.
Yeah.
Like, this idea is like, Nate, you need to start this podcast. Nate, you need to start this podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to do something for like someone.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. And then last week, someone hit me up who I don't really know that well. Hey, Nate, what you said on the podcast the other day with this person really changed my day, made my day, and changed my whole perspective on life. I don't care if like this doesn't hit thousands of people or millions of people, but for that one person, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with dance. Like, not everyone's going to see your choreography, but yo, those people coming to West Hollywood and seeing those fucking people, those what are the drag queens go at it. That made their night, dude.
That made their night.
They met that every time that they performed, you did something for those people that they may forget, but during that day, that one day, it fucking made their night.
It made their night.
And that, if you could have more experiences like that, that build up to like something that is beautiful and that you can't really like change, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what you love.
Yeah, I love that. And like the whole, I feel like if you make enough money to eat good quality food, pay for a rent over your head, and the biggest thing for me, like you said too, is being able to, I feel like you were quote unquote successful when you could go out and buy a round of drinks for your friends.
Yeah.
And like not like hurt your wallet,
right?
Like not be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like I'm gonna scramble for like, you know, if like treating your family, like treating your friends, like who's in your close circle. That's important.
So our thing is, how do we get there?
Get there for what?
Well, to get to that point. How does everyone get to that point? And I just feel like, I don't know, like you were saying, like, and just going back up off of scheduling your time and taking control of your schedule and your time in your life and providing a time for you to work on bitters. You know, like you said, you like do work at the bar at this amount of time, then do your clients on these days, and then that'll give you 2 or 3 days to focus on that. That's how you do it. In
2 or 3 days a week.
And that's how you do it.
2 or 3 days a week is a lot of time, like evenings and stuff like that. And I also respect all the people who are parents and who are like, oh, I put my kid to sleep. I have between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. to write, to do whatever, you know.
My best friend Jill just had a baby last year, and now she's pregnant with twins.
Congrats, Jill.
Jill is killing it. But the thing is, her and I were Cheech and Chong, like, just killing. Why do I say Cheech and Chong?
They're pretty funny. You guys are pretty funny, probably. So
We're wild.
There's a
We're wild.
relatability.
Dude, the thing is that when she had this kid, she's my first friend that
In LA or just in general?
in general that has had a baby. You know, I'm at that time in my life where everyone's starting to have kids. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah, I went to like 4 weddings last year and 4 more this year.
what's going on? Everyone's getting married and having babies. I'm like, oh god, great for them. But the thing is, the transition to being a parent and the obligation responsibility is so intense.
Yeah, you have to care for someone else besides yourself.
Yeah, and the time management that they need to make for their time to work on something. So I want to just acknowledge that with you. Yeah, because that's true.
It's hard.
You parents out there, kill it.
What are the lessons that you learned in the military? Because I never was in the military, but one of the biggest key factors / mentors in my life was my golf coach in high school, and he was a Marine. And he taught me simple things like, if you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty good on like time. And just a lot of like military like standards.
Yeah.
Like he would always, if your shirt's not pressed, if it's wrinkled, he would make you run 2 miles. I'm like, this is golf, bro. Like, why are you making us run? Right. So shit like that made me influenced me very heavily.
I love that.
You know, and I never was in the military, but like, what lessons did you learn from being in the military?
Timeliness.
Yeah.
Camaraderie. It's there's no I in team, and they really express that you have to work with people, and teamwork was massive. Also respect, huge amounts of respect for other people and yourself was huge, and how to fucking shine a boot.
What's the process of shining a boot?
You got to take a little bit of water. You got to layers it. So
Okay.
you got to.
So it's water first. Do you use a brush? Is it a brush or a towel?
You use the brush to clean it off.
Okay.
But like I use it's like you need a certain kind of towel to really make it shine.
Like a microfiber towel? Or something
yes.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah, but so you have your shoe shine, and you take the top tin off, and you put water on the top tin, and you dip it, get a little of this, and you just rub it until it gets really nice and shiny. Okay. But you get all the dirt off. You could do a basic. Listen, I could spend hours on that. I did hours on that. We all did. I mean, it was. They were.
Do you think they still do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's weird because like I don't know anyone who like my dad used to shine his dress shoes, but I don't think he does it anymore. I don't really know anyone who like shines boots or shoes anymore.
Valid. That is valid.
The military's just a thing, so they could like haze you, I guess.
Yeah, it's a conditioning. They're trying to break you down to build you back up. It worked.
Yeah. So how long were you in the military? 4 years? Do you do your time?
Yeah.
So you get all the like nice military benefits still?
I do. Yeah.
That's nice.
I have that life insurance policy is really nice.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Is there any coming up when you're a dancer? There's like, from all the dancers I know, their big goals are like, one, get on tour.
Isn't it? That's great.
So Brian's goal was never that. So that's not a thing. It's just for some people.
No, it is. Good for you.
And I guess like another one would be like becoming a choreographer eventually, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess and one is to either like, I guess for example, like if you're an old school dancer, to like make it, you're either gonna dance for like Justin Timberlake, Michael Jackson, like those big names, and like, oh yeah, when you dance for them, they make it. Like, is there anyone for you who you ever wanted to dance for or choreograph for? Yeah, like, is there anybody particular or not?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no. I know it sounds so strange, Nate, but I never had one person that I felt like I wanted to dance for. It was more about just the process and doing it. I know it sounds so lame.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just wanted the experience. I wanted to feel good doing it. Just working and being wanted to do that was being in demand was the most successful feeling ever.
What's your process for choreography? So like, say a client tells you this is the song I want. Is that a thing? Like they want a certain song?
Yeah, or they might not even know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to choreograph with, do they put like grids to 8 dancers, 7 dancers? Do they give you guidelines of that too?
Well, they say how much money am I going to spend for X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
So we'll talk about budget. So we go through the budget. First of all, it's understanding the client. And people, and this goes for everyone, when you're in work, communication is so important when you're talking to your clients or colleagues or the love, like what are we starting with for this process that's going to last a while?
Yeah.
How do we keep it positive and keep it good and keep it streamlined, keep it simple? Yeah. So understanding your client is so important. And it takes, like you said, good listening skills. And what that means is actually listening to what the person's saying and not
just
not,
be like,
exactly. Or like, I know what you're saying. But do you?
Yeah.
You know, like someone could say, I like, I'm never going to go there. I could ramble about that kind of stuff, but it's so important. Basically, yes, I get clients that will come to me and say, I would love a dance. I'm like, great. You know, like literally that's what they'll say. I would love a performance. And I said, okay. What is, you know,
what do you have in mind?
Like, yeah, what is like a series of questions of like, what's the party about? What's the theme? What is the decor? Who's your favorite artists? Yeah. You know, and just really get a theme about that person. Yeah. That's relevant for me in my job, you know? So, that is the process. Yeah. And so like recently I just did this wedding in New York at the Botanical Garden. And this family was from Texas. And they rented out the Botanical Garden, which is a beautiful venue.
I've only seen pictures. You've only seen pictures?
So they did it inside the ballroom area where it was like a greenhouse. Yeah. Giant. There was just metal trim with glass everywhere. And it was at night. And they brought in, the planner had lit everything beautifully, brought in extra aesthetics. And it was to the nine. It was top tier, expensive, gorgeous, perfect. And so the mom had reached out to the company I work with, to me, because I'm the choreographer for this company. We're international. Like we do jobs all over the world. Yeah. So I'm the head of that, just to give a taste of like the responsibility.
What's the company called again?
Elan Artists.
Elan Artists. Okay.
So you know, I talked to the mom and the planner, and you know, the mom is just a normal mom. She's not someone that's like, I have a vision and this is what I want. She's like, I think I just love a dance. Yeah. You know, and she's like, my daughter's really artsy. A lot of our friends are artsy.
That's super vague.
It's always vague. And that's okay. Yeah. You know, and
so I guess my point was like, how do you come up with like this choreography? Yeah. Like, what's your process? Like, do you just like lock yourself in a room and like close your eyes and you're like, oh, that looked cool.
Right. Well, the process is understanding your client. Okay. So when I talked to her, I got a quick taste of like what her expectations are, you know, and sort of like what her personality is. So that was getting that information helped me understand what I needed to do to make this work for them. Sure. So I get the structure of what I'm able to work in. So I just sort of built my perimeter off of that first communication. I'm like, okay, these are my boundaries of what I can make right now, you know? And then, so I say, what kind of music do you like? Yeah. And she's like, I like all kinds. I was like, for this piece, do you have any examples to show me? So like, I'll see kind of, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes I'm flying by the seat of my pants, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, this is either going to be great or this is going to just fail terribly. Yeah. You know, so there, you know, nothing's certain. Sure. You know, but that's what, you know, I get paid for is my creativity and the trust that I'll make something good. Yeah. You know, and
yeah, I'm talking about the creative process. Yes. Like, no, but yeah, that's all good to know. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, I didn't know that you do have to be a good listener and attention payer and like all that stuff. But for the actual piece, the actual choreography part, like what's your process of that? Like if they give you a song,
Understood.
like are you just fucking around in a dance studio by yourself, or you tell people to come and like
It's the music. The music literally speaks to me.
What do you mean by that? Like I can't relate because that never really happens to me. I'm being serious.
I understand. So when people who produce music have a vision and they're telling a story, I get the interpretation of what that story is by how they make the song, by what words are chosen, and what that experience means for me in my world, from my own experiences of how I relate to their experience that made that song. So when that happens, I communicate it through my body. And so as my body is talking to me, I'm listening. And I'm starting to just move, and I'm like, this is what it means to me.
So it's not necessarily like you hear it and then think of a movement. You hear it and you move.
Correct.
And
that's the first step.
Okay.
That's the first step. Now, because I come from a cheerleading background, the overall visual is huge for me.
Just because the structure matters.
Yes.
Because
and that's what the military comes into.
Yeah.
See, it's all these pieces
come together. Yeah. What was that Steve Jobs quote? Like, all the dots align when you look back at them.
Yes.
Something like that.
It's wild. Shit's crazy. It's crazy.
What do you call it? What do you find most beneficial? Like, I haven't traveled much, but because like your job takes you around the world. Yeah. I'm assuming I'm positive you experience a lot more culture than I have. You experience a lot of different backgrounds, people, ethnicities, like politics, all that. Like, what's the benefit of traveling for you, and like what have you learned from traveling?
That people are people. Everyone's the same. Everyone's the same.
In what ways?
Everybody wants the same happiness. Everybody wants, there's really nothing different other than the language that people speak. That was because you just think of going to another country. Oh, there's just something different. Yeah, the buildings are different. Yeah, the foods are different. The clothes are different. But the people are the same. Everyone's got a mom and dad and a family and friends. Yeah. We're all connected. I'm so sorry, but it's so true. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, don't apologize.
I'm not wowed or some buildings were built and it's beautiful. Yeah. But it's a building. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what about the people? What about the connection? What about that? And I think what's also beautiful is the cultures of those families and those people of what they grew up with and what that is really nice too. Like Italians, family values beyond. They are all about the family and their connections of family within family. That's it. The men still live with their mothers until they get married. That's just kind of like normal. Yeah,
that's interesting. I'm glad you said that. People are people are people are people. Just because a lot of people don't think they could grow or become more experienced or have educated like social stuff if they just stay in one spot. And I always disagreed with that.
I disagreed.
Because you could learn and you could develop where you were at with the things that you have and the people that you have around you. And granted, like you could learn about cultures and stuff when you go out, but in terms of like structure, in terms of like all that, that's a bad excuse. You could learn it where you're at right now.
Right. No, I mean, like, again, it's who you surround yourself with.
What does, I guess, like family mean to you now? Because like you grew up in the foster care system and you never really had like a structured family life. No. You never had like a mom and dad to take you to school and all that stuff, which like is shitty, but also made you the person who you are now. Yeah. But I guess what's your family now? Like, who do you like? What does family mean to you? For example, like me, I have brothers and sisters out here who like I would maybe even do more for than like a blood relative, you know?
Yeah. And those are that's real.
Yeah.
The family that I have now is developed around trust, love, and acceptance, encouragement, support.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I have the best people around me.
Well, it's beautiful.
I have the best people around me, and I am so grateful for every
Mm-hmm.
one of them. And I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm popular. I'm not.
Mm.
You know, the people I have, maybe on one hand of, and some people may be different,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, you know, understanding what you deserve
Mm-hmm.
in people, and just, oh man, if there's anything, it's just who you surround yourself with good people who truly love you. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Before we close out, I just wanted to see if you have any advice for like someone who wants to be in your position. So like a little Brian in that foster home, or it doesn't even need to be a foster home. It doesn't need to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, a young kid who like really likes or sees dancing, but like never really has the chance to jump off that bed, or never really has the courage to like, oh, that's a cool dream, but like, that's not possible. Like, what's your advice to those people who like wants to be moved to LA and be a choreographer, and deep down they really know they can?
Yeah. Believe in yourself. I would say.
How does one do that?
Sure. I say that if you have that urge and that desire, like you said, with that person who you were talking to, like, give it a try or go in that direction. Go in that direction, and don't be afraid. You can be afraid, but you got to keep moving forward. And I failed so many times, but I truly always believed in myself. And this is really hard to answer because there's so many lessons that I learned in that process. I wanted to, if I could tell them all of them, I would, because it's just not a general thing. If I could make it a general thing, I would say trust the process, trust the journey, and don't quit. If you want to do something, do it. And just know that there is no easy journey. There is no easy way out. And if happiness is the ultimate goal here, and you've got to work for that. And if it's being a painter, if it's being an architect, if it's being an accountant because you love numbers, then that's your journey. That's your life. Do what you love. And you know what? If that changes too, then do something else.
Like it. Do it what you love.
Yeah, but it takes work. It takes focus. You have to work.
Yeah.
You have to do the work.
Beautiful, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, Brian Schulze, everybody.
Hey.
Where could people find you in terms of if they have a dope ass party that they want to throw and like they want some choreographer? Where can they find you?
ElanArtists.com.
ElanArtists.com. What's your Instagram?
Brian Lee Schulze.
Brian Lee Schulze. Did I say it wrong? Is it Schulze?
Schulze, yeah.
Fuck. All right.
It's okay.
He didn't correct me. What kind of friend is he?
No, it's good.
Brian Schulze, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much, Nate.
See you, brother.
See you.
Peace.